You can't hold me down. 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 You can't hold me.
Hey guys, I'm here with my Cub Cadet. I think I'm going on, I don't know, probably 8 years with this thing. And I'm just now hitting 330, 32, 33 hours. And I've never done a transaxle oil service change. So that's what I'm getting ready to do now. So I went ahead and bought the kit. What's going on with this is that doesn't do it right when I start it up and run it, but about 20 minutes into mowing, I start losing a lot of power, mainly on this side. But I have about, I don't know, 2 hours, maybe 3 hours worth of yards to mow when I do mow. And the last property that I mow, I can it barely moves. So I mean, it's really not wanting to move. And definitely this side. So this side pretty much just stops working about at that time, unless I'm on flat level. But if there's any kind of a decline or incline, it just doesn't want to come up anything. So I normally get stuck in this little ditch that I shouldn't have any problem in. So now I'm gonna change the transaxle oil and see if that helps. So I bought this kit. Go ahead and let you guys see what kit I purchased. So this comes with the oil, the filters, and the little plastic tube thing that helps you put the stuff in. Looks like there's some instructions on the back there. So follow the instructions. And open it up so you guys see what's up in here. This is that oil tube. Some more instructions. Yeah, so I mean, the box had it, and then also it gives you a little piece of paper on what you need to do. Alright, so now I'm just gonna start doing it, let you guys watch as I do it. Gonna probably move the camera onto this side, and I'm also gonna take off my wheels so you can actually see what I'm doing underneath the mower. All right, I got the tire off to show you guys what I was going to do here, but already ran into some problems. Mine doesn't have a filter here, so this model doesn't have any filters on the hydro gear, and not this thing, but there's another area right here that has a nut, hex bolt nut on it, and that's where the fluid goes in. And I can't seem to find a drain plug on the bottom here. This little hose is just coming up from the top, or draining from the overflow, so that's not it. But yeah, they made these things so you really can't service it that easy. Good job, Cub Cadet, and its brand. When I look for a new mower, whenever I get around to buying it, this is one of the things that I'm going to be looking for. But now I'm going to go ahead and have to take this off to pour the fluid out of that top bolt. So it looks like I'm going to have to unbolt these two bolts, unhook this, and then that bolt right there, and then that should fall right out of there for me. And then also do it to the other side and put it back together after I let the fluid drain out, and then put the fluid back in, and then I'm going to stick it back up in there. I just explained how the bolts are going to come off of here. You're also going to have to take off this clutch back here to get that belt off. I'm not going to do it now, but when I put it back on, I'm going to have to probably do it then to get that drive belt back on. Still going to go ahead and show you guys taking this apart, but I'm going to probably put it in fast forward. And if you guys are going to be attempting to change your own, make sure you get up in here and make sure you have filters, because I just bought 2 filters with mine and I don't need them for this mower. So check on that before you actually order the stuff. Okay, these bolts right here seem like they go all the way across, so I'm gonna have to put something on the other side to hold it. It's not even a bolt on this side, it's actually a little pin that is stopping. I'm gonna get it where I want it lined up at. This 18 is a little loose. To get that to slide all the way off, I need to get that other tire off. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that other tire off real quick, and then I'll pull that bar out and let you see what it looks like. Got this other side jacked up and the tire off. And this is what it looks like on this side. I'm just gonna pull out that, put that nut on there and set it aside, and then I'm gonna take off the other one, which is about exactly the same thing. And this bar that goes right here, after you get that long ass bolt out, this just drops. So now I'm going to be taking out that other one, which is about the exact same way I'm going to do it. It's going to be a little bit harder to get in there because I have this jack in it now. You have two people, that's going to be a lot easier to hold the other side. I'm also going to stick those two bolts back in real quick just to give me some more stable while I'm turning those. smaller one is actually going to set in there a little bit better. All right, have those two bars off of there. Again, that will be a lot easier if you have a helper to hold the other side. Slide that belt off. Belt's off now. Let's see what else is on there. Looks like it might. We also have the inside gear thingy to take off as well. Instead of taking this bar off the way I thought it was going to come out, it doesn't look like it's going to come out. I'm just going to pull this little pin. And drop it off the bottom. Come out. On that back side, I just took out this one bolt. Here, I'll take care of it down here. This back side, I just took out this one bolt for this thing to pop off of there. As you can see, there's no filter on this one. Go ahead and look at that bottom, see if I can find any drain plug. Definitely not a drain plug anywhere. See about the inside. Doesn't look like there's a drain plug anywhere along the bottom. So yeah, pretty much these ones are on this model. Definitely has to be taken off. So it's this plug right here. I'm going to loosen it up and drain it. While this one is draining, I'm going to go ahead and take off the other side. And I got the Allen wrench over here. Yep, that thing's pretty tight in there. Getting a better hammer. There it goes. Oh yeah, this one's way low. So it's a good sign that that's probably the problem that I'm having. It's that low. You're probably not going to see it in here, but it looks like the fluid is way down in there. I don't know if you guys can. I'm just going to lay it in here. Try to get it where it's not in the oil, but as that continues to drain, I'm going to go ahead and take the other side off. The other side's the exact same way, so I'm not going to record it, but when I go to put this back up on there, I will record it showing you how to put it back. But the two sides look identical, they're just opposite. Alright, I got the other side off. Let me just make sure all that's drained out of this one. Tilt it this way and it's getting some more out. And then I'll be putting this one back on as the other one's draining. Yeah, I'm getting some more out of there at this angle. Go ahead and move this one out here. Before I start on this one, I'm going to go ahead and pop the other one loose and let it start draining. Alright, this one actually isn't as low as that one is. And then again, I was saying I was having most of my trouble on this left or right side. So this one isn't nearly as low as that one was. Yeah, it's only like maybe 1/4 of an inch from the top, maybe to a 1/2 inch. The other one was way down. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and dump this on here. Since I have this stuff off, I'm not gonna waste my time with that little pump. Looks like it's up to the top. We'll move it around, let some air get in there. Yep, go down some. Oops. Way over. Find my plug. Alright, now I'm going to start putting this back in there. So I'm going to clean up a little bit of oil spill. Alright, now I'm going to start sticking that all back together. I think the first 2 bolts I'm going to do is probably these 2, just to get it held up in there. I can do this by myself. Oh yeah, nailed it. this one up in there too. I don't know if you guys can still see. Now let's tighten those bolts back up. I'm gonna hook this pin back up. Get you guys in here to see what I'm putting back in there. Okay, that little rod I just slipped back into there. And then I put that pin back in on that thing. Alright, so now it's pretty much back in there. I just gotta hook this one up and then I have to put that gear thingy back on. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. All right, when I was getting down here the first time, I must have stopped the record, so I already have it on here. This is the little bolt that you have to loosen back up and put through. Pull this over this gear and put it on, and then this hooks it to that. I hooked this up first because it was easier to pull this over, and then I just put this bolt back in. So it went on fairly well, pretty easy. Alright, since I didn't get to show you this on the other side, I'm going to show you it on this side. Again, both of these hydrostats are identical, just opposite sides, so I'm not showing you both sides. But since I didn't get this recording, I'm going to show you it on this side. Need to get both hands in there. That's it. Now I'm going to put the wheels on it, and once I get the wheels back on, then I'll show you hooking up those two bars and showing you how to take this off. Alright, to put these back in, I actually had to leave this one tire off so I can get the bolts to go in. The good thing is these things are identical, so it really doesn't matter which one you put into which. Since I can't get you down in there, my tripod's not that big. All I'm doing is wedging this in between the two hydrostats and then running this bar through. Snug. Oh yeah, that vice grips work way better. Should have used them when I was taking them off. All right, since we had the belt off, the drive belt, there's actually no need to take this off. There's this tensioner right here. So you can get your hand up in here and move that. You can see it moving over here. And that'll give you enough room to put that belt back on. So that's what I'm gonna do. All right, it was much easier to take the belt off of this tensioner, put everything on, and then push the tensioner in, put this belt on the tensioner. So just in case you guys are trying to do it another way, it's way easier to put it on that way. So all right, I think I'm done. I got everything back to the way it needs to be. Now I'm gonna start it up and check it out. All right, I drove it around the yard quite a bit and it has made a great difference. It's working the way it should be. I do still feel that the right side, like I was saying, it was a little bit lagging more than the left side. It still has a little bit of a lag, but they both are working good now. And before I couldn't sit there and actually spin without moving, and I'm able to do that now. Before I had to be going forward a little bit and turning, so it was really getting slow on turning. It wouldn't pivot in one spot. I mean, I had to like creep forward and turn. On this hill, I could only get by this tree line, or that fence line. It's the only place that I could go up. So I've been usually going up that one spot and then driving down to mow this, and then going up, driving down, going up the same spot and driving down. And now I can actually go up this incline, and I wasn't able to before. Those little pivots I just did here at the end, that's what I was talking about. It wasn't letting me do that before. I had to actually be going forward to turn. It's now letting me do that. It really let me go right up this hill. It's not a problem at all. And even the fence line that I'm talking about that I was going up, it would barely go up that. So it was starting to get really bad. So that changing that fluid definitely helped my mower. So hopefully this helps you guys, and you guys can also fix your guys' mower. Girl might want to see this.
He's gonna get his ass fucked. He's gonna get your ass whooped.